This is the overview of the regional solicitation mapping applications. Once you're on the regional solicitation page, click on Regional Solicitation Grant Application here, or apply for grants here. When you're on this section, you should already be registered. Step 2 is to generate maps. You can click Generate Maps over on the right-hand side, or you can click down here under the Generate Maps in Step 2. Either one of them will get you the same thing. This is a standalone mapping application operated by our GIS group here at the Council. As such, you don't need to log in. You just go in and it works. There's two parts to this application. There's the geographic window here, and there's the application control panel that's up here. There's three major panels: Explore, Sketch the Project, and Print. Explore lets you search for an address, select layers that you want to show, and see which layers you have turned on. Now the layers are somewhat scale dependent, so if you turn these layers on, you won't necessarily see them until you're zoomed in close enough. The search function works pretty well. You can type in zip codes, you can type in schools, you can type in landmarks. For example, I can type in the State Fairgrounds. Now I spelled this incorrectly, but even with incorrect spelling, it still finds it. To pan around your screen, click on your mouse button and drag, and you can center the map wherever you want to. To zoom in, you can either use the scroll wheel on your mouse. That doesn't always work. You can use the zoom out and zoom in buttons to zoom into a prescribed length. If you hit the shift, click your mouse and drag, you can zoom into a specific area. Conversely, if you hit the Command, Shift, and drag on Mac, or Control, Shift, and drag, you can zoom out. I'll put those on the screen too. So that allows you to zoom in and zoom out. Here's turning the layers on. In this case, I'm going to turn on the functional class roads, and those show up as green here because I'm going to do a project, a roads project, and I want to make sure that I've got the correct functional class roads to select from. All right, when you start a project, you click Sketch the Project. Then you choose a grant type. In this case, I'm going to select roadway expansion. And then it asks you to draw a point. If you've got a project that's an intersection, an interchange, or a bridge, this is important. If you don't have a project that's not one of those things, just put it in approximately the center of the road that you're going to be working on. In this case, let's zoom over here, and we're going to be working on a project right behind the Capitol on University Avenue. So click on a button here and click to locate the center of the project. Then it says to me to draw a line. All right, I'm going to work on this, and it's going to basically go from Rice Street over here to Jackson Street. And then finally, now I have to scroll down a little bit. I didn't name my project. I'm going to call this Online Demo. I can draw the polygon. You might have to scroll down to see that. Now, generally what you do is you click on one end of your project, and then I usually go north to the next functional class road, which is green. To the edge of your project here, down to the southernmost functional class road, All right, and now I've entered all my requirements. If I go to print and then click on create maps, that create maps button won't be highlighted unless you've done all the things in Sketch the project. If you build all the point, line, and polygon responsibilities. Now you're generating your maps now. This may take a minute. These are animations. They're not actually the server showing what is happening, so sometimes it does take a little bit longer. Again, during the day it takes longer, and toward the end of the project when there's a lot more people on, it can take longer. So just let you know what's going on. I would recommend that if you're having issues with the application, you might try at a different time. It just might mean that we have a variety of different users on, and the server is really taxed at this point. As the maps are finished, they come up as PDF files. Now at this stage, they are not saved anywhere. There is nothing about these maps that if you disconnect, if you turn off your web browser, shut down your web browser, if you turn off your computer, these maps will be basically lost forever. If you want to include them in your application, you need to save them to your local hard drive. So my recommendation is to double click on them, and then in the bottom you can, now this is a Macintosh, but you can, if it's a PC, it looks similar. There's a gray bar at the bottom. You can click on it and it will download to your computer. And in this case, okay, these automatically downloaded. Now I need to save those to a different name. To kind of cover some of the features of the PDF map, on the left-hand side is generally the results. That shows you some of the information that you may need to fill in your application. At the top is the map type. This is the regional economy map. It tells you the project, the type of application you're filling out, road expansion, and then it tells you the name of your project. Here's online demo. This map ID is something that we can go back and pull up in the history to see what happened. Basically, this is used for us to decode if we have an issue with the application. It doesn't really do us any good post facto. Again, if you don't save the map to your local hard drive and name it appropriately, it can be written over and lost. Again, now we're back to the application, and here we are in our print. Here are all 4 of the maps. You want to take and download each of those maps, name them appropriately. We recommend that you name them all the same with a different, like this one, roadway area definition, Socio-Economic, transit connections. We'll open the transit connections map up. And again, it tells you transit connections, it's a roadway expansion project. Here's the name of the project, and there's the map ID. Here's the results. On that project, it's directly connected to routes 3, 62, 67, 68, 71, 262, 902. All right. We'll close that up. All right, well, that is the mapping application in a nutshell.